Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and we're doing an accuracy video from Hawaii. I'm super excited to be able to still help you guys from wherever I end up going. You know the passion, you know the belief, and you know that I will always try to provide the best information for you no matter where I am. So big thing that we're going to talk about again is accuracy, but getting a few people that have been wanting to get a video on this. So as always, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you have any questions or comments or recommendations, go ahead and leave those down below. We're going to hop in the video right now. All right, when it comes to accuracy, there's going to be a few different things that really matter a lot. I think the front arm's super important, the head's super important, and then also the throwing arm, elbow, and the wrist. And so we're going to go into each one of those and how those have a big impact. First thing, we'll talk about the head because that's like the easiest to understand, where when you're throwing, if you end up kind of leaning too far off to the side, you know, a lot of us end up going, I'm right-handed, leaning a lot to the left here with the head, which will make it so then you struggle a little bit more with missing left to right, okay? And so if you end up having that issue, think about where your head position is, especially for those of you that really turn over to the side a good amount. And if you're struggling with accuracy, that'll make a big difference there. Next thing is going to be the front arm position, right? So as you're coming through, as you're throwing, you want to be able to keep that front arm in a semi-high position. It's going to be different for everybody. So some people are going to want it higher, some people are going to want more to the side, some people are going to want it lower, but that's going to impact a little bit more of like the up and down. It'll still have an impact on right to left, but it's going to have a significantly more of an impact on up and down than like the head and the neck, right? When you go and you know, end up going too far off to the side with the head, that's going to really make a big difference when it comes to left to right throws, where keeping that arm position, making it so you stay a little bit more upright in the position of your throw, will make it so you have a better trajectory from what you're talking, or what we're looking at from an up to down position. Next thing's going to be the throwing elbow, and what's important about the throwing elbow is when you come through, we just want to make it so it comes all the way and is facing front straight ahead, right? And so what'll end up happening is that the elbows will kind of be off to the side, and the wrists will end up being off to the side, and we'll get into that. But when you end up going through and the elbow's not all the way facing forward, that's going to also really make an impact with accuracy. So really be aware with how you can make a big difference with the elbow position and make sure that's all the way through. And the last thing is going to be the wrist. And really what's most important with the wrist is the time of the release. I know we talk a lot about that with power, but it also makes a big difference when it comes to accuracy, because when you're releasing the ball and your hand's a little bit more back and the nose of the football is still facing up, and there's a lot of quarterbacks that have that issue, what ends up happening is that now the ball is going to have more of a trajectory that is going to be a little bit harder to control, right? The better position is to be able to go here and then come straight down on the football, which will make it so then you will be able to control the football a lot more and where it's going. So if you're releasing the ball too early, and I would definitely slow down your video, check to see when the ball's coming out of your hand, because if you're struggling with accuracy and you're releasing the ball too early, that's going to definitely make a big impact. Now, when it comes to actually fixing it, right, I would say that there's a couple of main things. One, you want to keep your eye on whatever it is that you're throwing to. Keep your eye on the target. A lot of times when I see people throw, they're going to be looking up at the ball, right, to see if it's a spiral. If you do that and you're struggling with accuracy, I would really recommend you look at it like it's a dartboard and you're trying to really, you know, concentrate on hitting the dart. Or when you're shooting free throws, right, you're really concentrating on the rim and where you're trying to hit there. So that ends up being a big thing. Another big thing is going to be find like a specific target and aim small, miss small, right? So you can have like a small pocket that you're throwing into. There's a lot of nets that have that. Small tires, right? Anything that makes it so you can, and really you want to get even smaller than that. The smaller that you're aiming, the more you're going to be able to miss small, right? So if you're aiming at like a small letter on a shirt, or, you know, the Nike symbol, something like that, now if you're a little bit off, it's going to still be in a good spot. Where if you're just like aiming to hit the person, if you're a little bit off, it ends up making a much bigger impact. Last thing is, you know, when you're aiming for something, so we're going to go with more like a deep throw, you want to be able to recognize that when you're throwing it to the right, if you're right-handed, your ball is going to tail more to the right. If you're left-handed, your ball is going to tail more to the left. So, you know, when you're throwing it to the left, really, you know, for quarterbacks, for me, it's a lot easier, because now my ball is going to kind of tail to the right, which will make it so you're leading the receiver perfectly. But there's a lot of times when you're throwing it to the right where my ball will sail out of bounds. So you just got to be aware with the deep ball to make it so you understand that the ball is going to end up tailing based off of what side of hand you're going to throw. I'm going to try to hit the trash can over here. This is something that, you know, I've been obviously doing this whole video the whole time. I tried it one time before. It's kind of close. We'll see if I can hit it now that I'm giving an accuracy video. Hopefully I do, because that will just make it so it's just that much better of a video. All right, here we go. Come on. Oh, close. But you know, some of the key things that you want to be able to do, right? Keeping the hand close, making sure that I'm keeping my eye on the target. Those all end up really mattering when it comes to making sure you're making significant gains with your accuracy, right? You want to be making sure that you're always working on that. That's not something you're going to just say like, okay, my accuracy is good. You want to be able to get better and better and refine it. And some of these tips will really help you in being able to get there. So as always, guys, thanks for watching the videos. If you want to check out some of the links in the description and check out some of our programs and how we can help you out with breakdowns, anything like that, workout programs, we have all that down below. Want to be able to help out as many quarterbacks as we can. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.